interesting to meet Alfie in person because I've seen a lot of his content online, and sometimes you build up a perception about someone based on what you've seen. Now, I saw firsthand the kind of fire in his belly, that conviction in his eyes, and the determination was, quite frankly, scary, but also really encouraging to see in such a young person. I think Alfie is going to be definitely going places with his businesses. I think he is very driven and he knows what he wants from life, which is important.
And something that came out loud and clear in terms of what he wants is disruption. I think he's, as you said, that fire is very clear. I could always almost imagine him in the workplace as he was talking. Imagine him in a traditional workplace and getting very frustrated by systems, processes, seeing things being done in a certain way that perhaps don't appear to be effective, and thinking, actually, I can go out and I can disrupt and I can do things better. And this is often the driving force for the founders that we know and that we talk to.
Yeah, and I think in Alfie's case, a short career in recruitment, obviously very successful, running international teams, billing out millions of pounds as a top consultant. And he's just gone, well, why can't I do this for myself? And he's done it.
I thought it was brilliant because I do recognise those feelings, particularly when I was younger. I guess because that's when I was working in roles for other people. Having those feelings, having that frustration, feeling like you're working really, really hard and you've got so much more you could do, and feeling like there's a ceiling on that, or feeling like you're sort of being trapped and you're not able to do what you want to do. And so definitely that motivation was something that led me into entrepreneurship. But I should say as well, you don't have to be young to disrupt. And as somebody who's got, well, not quite a couple of decades older than Alfie, but certainly got a good decade or so on him, I think that I did want to also say that just because we're a little older doesn't mean that everyone's a dinosaur too.
No, that's so true. And I think if you look at the research of, founders and what age a successful entrepreneur usually is, it is around 42, I believe. But I think that's the great thing about entrepreneurship, right? You can start at any point. You can be retired. You have to look at, KFC when that was started. Other businesses, people can be in their late 50s, 60s. It can be people who have just left school at 16 with no qualifications. Like, that is the barrier to entry in the world of entrepreneurship. Anyone can do it with the right mindset, the right beliefs, the right vision, and the drive within them, which obviously Alfie has got in abundance. And I think what's really good about what he's doing, he's building this whole content strategy around his business. And, the world of recruitment has got a bit of a bad name for various reasons in terms of like the way in which they conduct business. He obviously alluded to that later in the podcast. I won't give too much away. But what I think he's doing is very powerful in terms of bringing people to him. He's creating that inbound demand rather than doing that kind of cold, traditional outreach in terms of marketing.